Hi guys, how are you doing? This is from TechCentury and welcome to an exciting new video, at least for me that is. And this is of course my unboxing and first look of the Xbox One. This is the Day 1 edition, so we'll have a custom print here on the controller. And also we'll have FIFA 14 included. I think it's some kind of exclusive deal, at least here in Europe. So we don't get like the standard green box, but a black box. And then also with FIFA 14 here on the box. But this is only a download, so not really a physical disc inside. Now, I have to say my excitement for the Xbox One kind of faded over the last couple of weeks because big titles like Watch Dogs and also on the PlayStation side, Drive Club were delayed till 2014. So at least for me, there aren't really like any must-have games. But now, of course, where I actually have this console on my desk, I'm somewhat excited. So let's not talk any further and actually take a look at what comes in the box. Alright, so here we have the Xbox box in a close-up and we already see here the Kinect, the Xbox console itself, as well as the Day 1 controller. And I just want to ask you something, guys. Do you know these days where like everything is fucked up? Yeah, exactly my day today. So here you actually see my studio light, which was on the right, and it just took a fall like right on its face and exploded into like a million pieces. So yeah, that's pretty much my day today. And I guess I'll always remember this unboxing of the Xbox One because my studio light exploded. But now enough talking about the bad things. This is the box. Of course we'll have this wraparound here saying that we have FIFA 14 included, as I already mentioned before. And we see this really nice black and minimalistic packaging, also in this kind of matte and glossy finish as the console itself is as well. If we take a look at the left side, we actually see a picture of the controller right here with the Day 1 2013 on there. But now let's finally take a look at what comes in the box. I have to say I really like this black finish, especially compared to the like green one that we saw, for example, in the US. And so the first thing that we see right here on top is actually Kinect. And I believe we have the cable right here behind it. So we have to remove the cable, as well as then of course here the Kinect Sensor. And this definitely looks a little bit different from the Kinect that we saw with the Xbox 360. So let's actually take this wrapping off right here. And there we have the sensor itself. So we just see basically the camera here up front. There you see my studio light. And then here I believe the microphone array, and then just the Xbox logo on the right side. And let's put this away. Next up, here we'll actually have FIFA 14 as a download code. I assume there should be the code on the other side or maybe inside. So I'm definitely not going to show you the code so that you download the game before I can. Then what else? So now actually just finish here the paperwork. So we get a really nice Xbox sticker. Just kidding, looks absolutely cheap and pretty horrible. I hope that I won't see anybody on the street that has this on their cars because that just looks silly. Then we just have some quick start guides and then some more information about the accessories that you can buy. Pretty boring stuff. And then let's take a look at the included headset, which at least from my first impressions watching it online looks pretty damn cheap. So here we have the headset itself, and yes, it is really cheap and flimsy. But then again, the one that's included with the PS4 doesn't really look much better either. So I guess that's just where they save their money. At least on the PlayStation 4 you can connect your own. Unfortunately, you can't do this here on the Xbox One because we have this proprietary port again and not just the 3.5mm jack. So what else? Some cables. So here we have the power cable, of course for Germany because I'm based in Germany. This will definitely vary on the country that you live in. And then we have the reminiscent power brick that we already know from the Xbox 360. So still pretty huge. I assume from like the first impressions it seems at least like a little bit smaller than actually the one that you find on the Xbox 360. But it's still pretty huge, and so especially since the console is so huge already, that's kind of disappointing. I assume we also have this like matte finish right here and then the glossy right here, which is covered in plastic. And honestly, I'm not going to remove this because I don't care if it's glossy or not, at least, especially since it's behind the TV somewhere where you don't see it in the first place. And now let's actually start talking about the good stuff. And so here we also have an HDMI cable included. So this is really nice that with the new console generation, we now at least get an HDMI cable included, which at like 500 bucks should be really no question. And then let's take a look at the controller. This is my first time having a hands-on because, for example, at Gamescom it was just too crowded. So we have some batteries included right there. And then we have the controller right here. And you see the Day 1 2013 imprint here on the controller. And so far from the first impressions, like the very first impression that I have, feels kind of cheap, to be honest. Definitely a different feel to it than the Xbox 360 controller. I actually expected this to be a lot closer to the Xbox 360 controller because everybody said, well, it's basically just like the Xbox 360 controller with minor improvements. But this actually feels, at least in my first impressions, quite a lot different from the other Xbox 360 controller. Then here on the back we actually see that we have micro USB for charging, so if you buy this separate charging kit, then you can charge it over this USB port. We have the battery compartment right there, so we don't really have this bulk anymore that we used to have before with the 360 controller. And then we have here the new triggers, and these I believe also have like a rumble motor behind them so that you have actually feedback. But so far definitely feels quite a bit different, which is kind of surprising, at least for me. But now I assume we have all the, well, somewhat interesting and somewhat boring stuff behind us, and let's actually get to the console itself. So here we have the console in this nice black wrapping, so let's take this off. And I have to say, from the first impressions, it looks and feels a little bit smaller than I expected it. I expected it to be much bigger, to be honest. So that's definitely good. So I assume we have to turn it on the back to actually get everything off. And there we go. So this is the Xbox One console. We see this matte and then glossy finish here on the right side, matte on the left, as well as the Blu Ray drive on the left side with this like silver accent to it, which looks pretty nice. We also have here a sticker that says, "Do not move the console without first removing any disc." So that's great that they put such a sticker on there. That will be the first thing that I'm going to remove. Also, this Xbox One button on the right side is actually capacitive, as well as also the remove disc button. Then on the other side of the console we'll actually just find another USB port for charging your controller, for example. If we take a look here at the back, we'll see of course the power input, then the HDMI out which goes to your TV, then optical audio out, HDMI in for your cable box, then two USB ports, the Kinect port, infrared out, as well as an Ethernet port, and then also a Kensington lock. So this is the console, this is the controller, and Kinect right next to it to the left side. And this also wraps up my unboxing, which took a lot longer than I expected, so I hope that you stay to it until the end. If you did, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the Xbox One. I'm really looking forward to actually hooking this up. Maybe let me know what your favorite games are or what you're planning on picking up. I'm honestly not quite sure. I'm glad that FIFA 14 is included because I don't really have any other games on my wish list right now. But maybe there was some demos, I'll find some other good games, maybe NBA 2K14. So I'm excited to hook this up, play a little bit of Xbox One. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback in the comment section down below. Thanks again for watching. I really hope to see my next video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already for much more Xbox One content, as well as next week then the PlayStation 4 when it's released here in Europe. Thank you very much. See you next time.